We have been talking about this for well over a year now. Florida is doing something about the astronomical home insurance prices. And in this video, we're gonna dissect exactly what's happening and how this is going to affect you in the short term and the long term if you're a homeowner in the state of Florida. Okay, so let's jump right into it. We've known for a while here that insurance has been a problem in the state of Florida. Insurance rates have gone up significantly. Earlier this year, we had 7 homeowners insurance companies pull out of the state of Florida completely and send out cancellations. And what has been happening is that Citizens Property and Casualty, which is the state's insurer of last resort, has quickly become the largest homeowners insurance carrier in the state of Florida. Now, all of that was happening prior to Hurricane Ian, which at this stage, Hurricane Ian is set to be the second most expensive hurricane ever in this world, or natural disaster, I should say, at over $50 billion in property damages. Now, that money has to come from somewhere to help people in those situations, and we've been feeling a lot of pain in Florida with our homeowners insurance premiums being very high compared to the rest of the country. On average, we're about 3 to 4 times more expensive in the state of Florida than the other parts of the country when it comes to homeowners insurance, and that's something that is not good when it comes to real estate and getting people to move to our state. So, what has happened finally, after so many years of challenges, we've seen some progress in the right direction. Now, Governor DeSantis had an emergency meeting in regard with the legislature about this particular issue with homeowners insurance. And through this, they put together a bill that outline several different things that are going to happen that are going to make things better, at least according to them. So let's break those down. Okay, now the first part of the bill actually has a lot to do with the lawsuits that happen in terms of the policyholders suing the insurance companies in the state of Florida. That has been a rampant issue in Florida, more than all other of the 49 states, and that's something that really needed to be addressed. And so what they've done immediately is they've gotten rid of the one-way attorney's fees, meaning that if you sue your insurance company, it used to be that if you won, that the insurance company would have to pay their own attorney's fees and they would have to pay your attorney's fees. And so there would be a lot of incentive for the policy owners, the homeowners, to sue their insurance company if they were not happy. That turned into a big issue where between 30 and 40% of the premiums that we were paying in the state of Florida we're actually going towards attorney's fees. And so this is going to curb a lot of that and disincentivize people from actually suing the insurance companies. Now, along those lines, one of the other challenges that we've had in the state of Florida is that we have something that is called assignment of benefits. And the way that it worked is if you, the homeowner, need a new roof or have a problem with your roof, a roofer could come around go door knocking and say, hey, we'll get you a brand new roof, sign this paperwork, and we'll take care of all of this with your insurance company. And what was in that paperwork was something that's called an assignment of benefits, or an AOB. Now, in an AOB, you're giving all of your rights of the insurance policy over to that roofing contractor or other contractor for that matter. It doesn't have to be roofing. That just was the most typical. And whatever they could get out of the insurance company, it was theirs. And so they would promise you a new roof, but they could charge an exorbitant fee, pass that along to the insurance company. Insurance company pushes back. Then the roofing company sues the insurance company, and that's where the fees just kept going up and up and up and up. And that all fell on the insurance companies, therefore premiums went up, etc. So now, what's happening is that assignment of benefits is being eliminated, canceled, not going to be legally possible in the state of Florida. And quite frankly, I think this is a very good move by the legislator to get that change in place, because it's not really done a lot of great things besides, unless you're a roofing contractor or some other contractor who benefits from those things, it's not usually a great thing for the homeowner in those situations. So I think that's a net positive. The next thing this bill addresses is reinsurance, which reinsurance is essentially insurance for the insurance company. So when there's a huge loss and the insurance company does not have the money to be able to cover those losses, they actually purchase something called reinsurance that can protect them and therefore protect you when there's a big loss that's in play. Now, reinsurance those are worldwide companies who provide reinsurance. It's gotten very expensive to reinsure in Florida, and a lot of times it's been between 30 and 40% of your policy is just how much it costs that insurance company for the reinsurance. And so what the state is doing is putting together another $1 billion towards reinsurance to make that more affordable for insurance companies, because the reality is that we need more homeowners insurance companies in the state of Florida. So anything they can do to incentivize companies to come back or to open up in the state of Florida is going to create competition and create a healthier marketplace compared to the one that we're in now. So this is really going to be good at the end of the day. The other part of the bill that deals directly with citizens' property and casualty is in regards to those policy holders. And there's over 1 million of them at this point in the state of Florida. It's going to require that everybody who has a citizen's policy also purchases flood insurance. Now, that's sort of interesting because if you're not in a special flood zone, you wouldn't normally be required to have flood insurance. Even if you have a mortgage, you wouldn't be required to do that. It's always a good idea, but you wouldn't be required to do that. And then what Citizens is saying is that if you have insurance through us, you must get flood insurance. And so I think that's going to be a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow, to add in that additional expense of having Citizens insurance. Now, the other part in dealing with Citizens is that they're forcing people to use a private company policy as long as the premium with that company is not more than 20% above what the Citizens premium is, what they're charging. And that's really interesting because they're going to force you to use another policy if it's 18% more than what you could get through them. And they're just really trying to dissuade everybody from utilizing their services because they understand their exposure is quite large. And if we have another storm next year or the year after that's similar to Ian, that's just going to be a big, big problem for the state of Florida. And so, again, not a great thing, but hopefully this will bring in more competition and that relieves some of that pressure with Citizens. Now, one great thing, especially if you are anywhere in the Southwest Florida area, if you are affected by Ian, the bill does write into effect that they will give certain rebates on property taxes for those who are impacted by Hurricane Ian. Now, I live in Lee County, Florida, and in Lee County, actually the property appraiser and the tax collector have done a very good job of reaching out and being proactive about wanting to know what damage has been done to your home so that they can appraise and assess the properties accordingly. But this just puts it into effect that there will be rebates for the homes that are uninhabitable through Hurricane Ian. So here's my question for you. What do you think about this bill? Is this going to change Florida homeowners insurance for the better? Is it going to make it for the worse? Do you think this is enough? Are we going to do enough with this bill that's going to incentivize those private companies to come back into the state of Florida? Let me know in the comments below. And if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, that really helps the YouTube algorithm. Give us some extra love. Have an awesome day. Thanks.